When I was growing up, I was taught that conflict is a bad thing. But as I've gotten older, I figured out that conflict isn't necessarily bad. I mean, anytime you put two people together for any period of time, you're going to have differences of opinion. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to have conflict. So conflict is something that just inevitably happens when we're with other people. Conflict isn't bad. It's a natural part of our relationships with other people. The problem is how we manage the conflict. And if we don't manage that conflict well, it can be a big problem. Now, there are a lot of different responses you can have to conflict. You can say, oh, I don't want to have conflict. I'm just going to avoid it. You can say, whatever you want is okay. I'm just not going to fight with you about it. We'll do whatever you want. You can get very competitive about it and dig in and really fight for your position. You can compromise. You can even do something like collaborate. We're going to work together to find a win-win solution. And all of those are reasonable responses to conflict. The challenge is in thinking about the situation you're in, the kind of conflict it is, and making a decision about how you want to manage it. Do you want to just put it off? Because sometimes conflict, if you just, don't fight with people about stuff, it's all gone by tomorrow anyway. And sometimes, you want to say to the person, it's just not that important to me. You go and we'll do what you want. I'll accommodate to you. Sometimes a compromise is the right thing, right? How do you decide what the right approach is to manage the conflict? I think there are two things you want to pay attention to. How important is the conflict to you, the issue at stake, and how quickly does it need to get fixed? So if it's something that's really important to you, just giving up and accommodating or avoiding it, that might not be a good solution. It might be something you need to fight for if it's really important to you. And dig in and really work the problem with the person. A little more tension, but if it's really important, it's worth it. And the second dimension is how quickly does it need to get fixed? There are some things that have to be decided on right now. You don't have time for it. I mean, think about a physician in the emergency room, and they've got to make a decision about things. You can have disagreement in the emergency room, but the physician running it has to decide right here. He's in charge, she's in charge, they're going to do this. They have to compete for their idea to make it happen because there's not much time. Other things you've got a lot of time for. You can step back and say, let's put that aside. We'll talk about it some more tomorrow. Let's see where it goes. Let's let it evolve. Depending on how important it is and how quickly you need to make a decision about it, that's going to tell you whether you need to fight for your position, whether you just let the other person have their way, whether you compromise, collaborate, or whether you just put it off and avoid the whole thing and figure it'll probably go away down the road. So don't worry about conflict in life. Just give some thought to how you're responding to the conflict and make a choice about how you want to manage it. How important is it? How quickly does it need to get fixed? And then work the conflict with the people that you're with.